double I, they got your big orange face. All year long is the place to be, to hear some Vols for life talking Tennessee. You can hate us if you want, but we sure ain't worried about you. We got more important issues.
We now welcome onto the show a very special guest. It's a guy a lot of Tennessee fans should be familiar with because you saw him a lot. I believe he still holds the record for most appearances as a Vol, which is got to be wild because there's some guys that have been around for some time as well. But it's Jerome Carvin, VFL, former offensive lineman for Tennessee. Jerome, thanks for hopping on tonight, man.
Yeah, thank y'all for having me on, man. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. So I guess we'll start with Saturday, big road game. It kind of, I don't know if it hits home for you a little bit, but I know it was between Tennessee and Mississippi State for your recruitment. So what's kind of at stake for Tennessee this weekend on the road?
100%. Obviously, definitely have some history there, me personally with them. Obviously growing up not too far away from Mississippi State, like 2 hours away, but man, this weekend is definitely huge for Tennessee. Obviously, this is the second game in conference play. Going against a team that, a lot of people are kind of writing off, but man, they're undefeated right now. Obviously they had like a upset win against Arizona State early on in the season, and man, that team is not gonna, let us go in there and beat them. So definitely gonna be a big opportunity for us to, right our wrongs and start off SEC play on the right foot. So.
For sure. And I want to ask about road games in particular as a guy that's played many of them. And I'm someone who I think I just told Landon a second ago, I want to know this team can compete on the road. And I think the Josh Heupel can't win on the road's a little overblown, but just winning on the road in general, winning on the road in the SEC is a tough test. What's different about it, and how can they kind of change their mindset in their first true road game this year, playing, like you said, against a really, really competitive opponent?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, road games in SEC are obviously, like you said, very tough. I think the main thing is just the communication part of it. Obviously, when you're on the road, you got the fans going against you, especially if you're on offense. So the communication part, obviously, the cadence for the snap is usually on the clap. But there's I'm not sure what Davis Wade holds, but 60 to 70,000 fans clapping and screaming. So
cowbells, 60,000 cowbells.
The cowbells too. Yeah. So that's going to be very tough communication-wise. Obviously, we run a fast-paced offense, very up-tempo type of offense, upbeat. So you have to be on communication. You have to be on the right tracks and things like that. So I think, obviously, playing on the road, it's actually kind of a fun experience in my mindset. I think just because, everybody in that stadium is going against you. And everybody in that stadium wants you to fail. And that moment alone brings all the guys together to accomplish the goal, to leave out of that city with a W. So
well, and that brings up another question that I've always kind of wondered: what's better, a big home roar, or when you feel the air and the energy get sucked out of an away crowd?
Man, that's a tough question. Obviously, you love kneeling. You love doing it in front of the fans, doing it in front of your home team. And but man, it's just something about going on a road where you're not expected to, do great. You're in a hostile environment, especially in the SEC, and you just silence that crowd. And you kind of leave the stadium knowing, we took it to them today, man. And just seeing all the fans kind of boo us and doing all the other stuff. So. I'll probably say kneeling just because just doing it in front of our fans, but man, that's a tough comparison.
Yeah, I bet that's hard for a competitor just to kind of, you love to disappoint the haters. That is the best feeling. But there's nothing like, what is that, 102,000 around about? I know it's changed a little bit in the past couple of years. I do want to ask about the O-line this year. You got to watch them a little bit. Through 4 games, they look like they're controlling the offense. What have you seen so far from the O-line from your perspective?
Yeah, so I think these past 4 games, I would say they played physical. And obviously, like people love to have the notation that we're a fast up tempo offense. We just want to throw the ball deep, but man, we run the football down people's face. So I love how physical they are up front, as well as I know Lance Hurd is obviously a returning starter, but I mean, besides him, it's kind of fairly new up front with guys that probably haven't played as much or that's coming from different teams. So just them playing together. I think it's been standing out the most to me. And obviously you're missing David Sanders. He's banged up right now, but like I can't wait to see him get into the fold too, or like how they're gonna operate with him in the fold because obviously he's a super talented player. But man, I love that first 5 group up there, man. Shout out to Jesse Perry too, man. He's been playing lights out. So love that for the young kid.
I love that you're kind of involved and you kind of know all these people. So what's it like you being kind of a fan more of Tennessee now?
Man, it honestly it's great for me. Because I wanted to win. I wanted to win so bad. So I keep up with them. I know everybody on the team, even though I think I've played with majority of them, or not majority of them, but like I guess a couple of them. I know 2 of them are still there that I played with for sure. But just seeing those young guys, some I probably tried to help recruit later down the line when I was older or whatever. But I just love seeing their success, love seeing them grow, man. And I'm a big fan. So
yeah, that's awesome. I wanted to ask you mentioned Jesse Perry, which is a kind of part of this question. You're very much a kind of plug and play guy for until you settled in. I guess 2022 is when 2021. I guess you kind of got stuck at left guard and hung there the rest of your career. How important is that to development? Because it's got to be just challenging, even going from left to right guard. It's a different world.
100%. And overall, like you said, like playing different positions in the offensive line is very tough. Just hitting the different techniques on certain blocks it just feels different, So obviously Jesse Perry being a young guy, I know he came in as a tackle. They kind of kicked him down the guard. And then now he's back out to tackle. So I can only imagine how he's feeling. But man, he's looked great so far. Obviously, we want him to continue to keep the strain, keep the fight going, and try to get as much better as he can, and kind of make it tough on the Tennessee staff to kind of be like, okay, what are we going to do now with the David Sanders deal? So I love that for him, and super excited for him.
Is that the plug and play way, like that method that Josh Heupel's really used since he's been here? They've moved guys all across that offensive line. In your point of view, is that? That obviously is you develop faster when you're learning all these positions. Is that the best way to get the best 5 available on the field?
I feel like it's tough to get the best 5 out there because obviously with a guy like Jesse Perry that can play multiple positions, you kind of want to see, okay, what's his best position? Right. And, when you have, Lance Hurd, who's, stalwart at left tackle, he's our left tackle. And now you have Sam Pendleton, who's a center, but obviously he can play guard as well if anything were to happen. So it's a good problem to have, I would say, because obviously you can mix and match, put guys in different places, and, they still will hold up the standard of playing offensive line for Tennessee. So I think it's a good problem to have for Heupel and company. I think Coach Ellaby loves that they're flexible, and can just not like pigeonhole in just the one spot. So I think it's great for the offense in general.
You kind of mentioned earlier you were recruiting a lot for when you were older. You're kind of in that spot where the new staff comes in with Josh Heupel, and a lot of guys enter the portal during that time. What was kind of like that transition like for you? Because obviously you could have jumped in the portal too, but decided to stay.
100%. Yeah. So during that time, obviously it was rough. It was rough, coming off of, I think we were 3-7, 3-8 or whatever.
Yeah. We don't have to talk about that.
Yeah. But man, coming in, I just, and I'm going to be honest. I had thoughts about it, but at the same time, I value like being with my teammates more. I value like, man, I built this bond with these guys, like, for the 3 years at the time. And I was like, man, I don't want to lose that, and I guess my love for those guys in that locker room, my love for just Tennessee football in general, just kind of outweighed just the situation that we currently were in. So, and I just, I thought the grass was going to be greener.
We talked about the transfer portal. when you saw how fast Josh Heupel's offense went? Was there part of it you're like, maybe I should have? That's a lot of running and moving pretty quickly. There's no breathers.
For sure. Definitely when I did a little research on it, I was like, man, I don't think this would be fun to play in as offensive lineman. But in all ways, man, it's actually a great way for offensive linemen to play, just seeing the other guy against you tired and, breathing for air, huffing and puffing, kind of gives you like a little confidence going like, man, like,
Sure.
Trying to take them to the deep end of the pool, like, yeah, you're in it with me. So try to stay on the field, keep on the field and things like that. So.
I know Caleb kind of mentioned you playing at multiple positions at Tennessee. Do you think that like versatility really helped you when you got to the NFL?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I mean, in NFL, you have to play multiple positions. You can't just be obviously the elite of the elite play one position and, but other than that, everybody else, kind of moves around and they stick you wherever and, you kind of have to perform. So definitely all my time at Tennessee, I'm grateful for them moving me around a lot.
Yeah. So what kind of do you play like right now for, or I guess you play all over, but what's kind of your main position there?
Yeah, well, right now I'm just obviously like similar to where I was at Tennessee, guard and center, just moving around kind of wherever they want me at, in a sense, plug and play type deal.
Gotcha.
What would you rather have as an offensive lineman? You're pulling around, going downhill at a guy, or a big pancake block in the backfield?
Probably definitely the pancake. Definitely pancake.
Okay.
Beating a guy, against his will. I think that's what offensive linemen live for. So I'll say that.
Yeah. It's kind of mean to bully that linebacker. You got 100 pounds on him. It's not fair.
If you have like a go-to celebration, one that kind of sticks out to me is Ollie Lane running down the field against Missouri, and I think 2021.
21, yeah.
Was that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I mean, I didn't have really a celebration. I just kind of ran down there and celebrated with my guys. So obviously that year in 22, man, we had a lot of deep passes, so I was running far. So I was tired when I got there, but man, just celebrate with my guys.
Were you one of those guys that lifted up the ball carrier, or no? You let that somebody else?
Oh, 100%, 100%. Any chance I got, I was telling them, giving them the signal, jump. I got you.
I love that.
Yeah, this wasn't a weekly celebration, but I did want to ask you about the play that you headbutted Gerald Mincy without the helmet. Was that just like a brain fart moment? You're just in it. You're like, yeah, we're rocking. Definitely
a brain fart moment for sure. Obviously just coming out the field, we just scored. We kind of taking it to Kentucky at the time, and it's this night atmosphere. You kind of emotions are riled up, and I was high fiving and headbutting people, and I saw him, and I was like, I kind of just blanked and kind of gave him a little headbutt, and I noticed quick. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like I'm so sorry, but
that's on him. You got to keep the hats on. You got to be ready to play.
Yeah,
strapped up.
100%. I could have had that situation a little better. A little better.
I wanted to ask you about that play, and then another one. You were in the mix of another viral moment. Jeremiah Crawford puking against Alabama. Did you see it? Because I mean, that was like right when y'all were breaking the huddle. Did you notice it in the game?
I had no idea it happened until the next day.
Were you a little disgusted that you were very close to that?
Yeah, very clear. Yeah, right, basically right next to it. It was kind of crazy because we're going to line up, and I'm getting my stance and things like that, and I'm like looking at the defense lineman. He's like in disgust, like he's like, ugh, like we should probably. He was like kind of like hesitant to like line up. I'm like, what's like? Why is he taking so long to line up? But I get it now. So
splash zone. Yeah, you gotta get out of the way.
Yeah.
What was kind of your thought process? Like, did y'all have it in the back of your minds? Like, if we win, the crowd's coming, or is it just kind of like, don't speak about it? We'll see what happens.
To be honest with you, I think going into that week, we as a team, we were super confident that like we can beat these dudes. Like it wasn't no doubt in our mind that we weren't gonna go out there and win. And so even after the whole it was the botched handoff, and they went scoop fumbled and scored. Like leaders like Hendon Hooker and guys like me and Cedric Tillman and all those guys, like we kind of looked at each other like, dog, we got this. Like we're good. Like yeah, that's on us. That's like they did nothing to get that, you know. So yeah, so I think obviously when the kick was happening, I had no idea. Like I guess I wasn't really thinking about like us rushing the field. So I was like more so like, man, like I hope he makes this kick. I hope he makes this kick. And so obviously when he did, I ran. I was like, kind of was like hesitant. I was like, where am I running to? And I like looked around and like I saw a guy like just screaming. Like I was like, wait, what is going on? And it kind of just started after that. So that was kind of my experience.
That's awesome.
I'm glad you mentioned.
On the field?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Say it again.
How long did you stay out on the field and just kind of like take in the moment?
Man, it had to be a good 30 to 45 minutes before I made it to the locker room. I mean, people were handing me cigars. You know, I was taking pictures with, numerous of people, smoking cigars with them. So it was a wonderful moment. Definitely one of the top moments in my life. So,
did you think about trying to get on the field goal, bring it down?
I did not. It
would have been a little easier if the offensive lineman helped out.
Definitely would have been a lot easier for the fans.
Yeah.
You mentioned Hendon Hooker a second ago. I got to imagine blocking for a guy like that is a ton of fun. You mentioned leadership, and then he probably helps clean up some mistakes. But I got to think too, every once in a while, you had to make just a really good, clean block. You protected the pocket the way you're supposed to, and then you look at a guy like that, and you're like, you ran right where I blocked the guy to, because he was all. I mean, he was just he loved to get out and run. I think you got credit with 2 sacks in your last 25 or 26 games. I just was reading it a minute ago.
Yeah.
Were they both Hendon Hooker's fault? Did he escape the pocket too early and run right into your guy?
No, I would rather say he got me out of a lot of would-be sacks. Okay. He was that good. I mean, you kind of in the moment, you know, you're blocking for him, and like he goes to take off, and like you kind of have to like remind yourself, like, hey, Jerome, like we're playing a game, we're playing a football game. Like you can't just sit there and be a fan and watch him run and like fake guys out. So our O-line coach Ellaby used to get on us a lot about that. Like, look, I get he's a lecturer with the ball in his hands, but like he's running for his life. Go protect him, you know. So that was kind of my deal with it.
There's been a lot of like people talk about the second year in this offense. Like that's when it seems to click. When did it kind of click for you? I mean, we had Hendon Hooker was one that really took off in his second year. Jalen Hyatt took off his second year in this offense. So when was it kind of for you when it kind of clicked for?
For me, I feel like for offensive line, it's a little different. I feel like, with the blocks that we hit, we kind of you do them your whole career basically. Mm-hmm. Now I will say with the scheme for the outside guys, it is a lot different. It is newer because it's very. I mean, it's unlike anything else in the country. Like even in pro football, like it's unheard of to play how we play. So I think for guys like that, it takes a little minute to get a handle, to get an understanding of it and to understand the scheme and things like that. But I think up front, you get it pretty easily.
What do you think about when people describe this Tennessee offense as an air raid, and then you realize you're like, no, I was downfield blocking 35, 40 plays a game in the run game?
Yeah. That's like my whole deal about people who like talk about our like Tennessee offense, like, man, like they just throw the ball, like they just try to line up real wide and, pitch the ball out to the receivers and get out of the way. Like their O-line is just position blocking. Like that's so far from the truth because we run gap schemes, we run power, counter, like we run duo, we run inside zones, like we run tight zones. I think now I see them running mid zone a lot now. Like we pull tackles, we pull guards, like we run downhill.
I think Georgia, we pulled a center, didn't we?
Yeah,
I think I went nuts about
it.
Syracuse, we pulled a center.
Okay.
So it's all the downhill running schemes that the schools that are known for, like Michigan and Alabama, like Georgia, we run the same things. But obviously they just see the wide splits from the receiver and they're like, oh, like they're going to try to throw the ball. Like, no, we do that to lighten the box up so we can make it easier to run. So, hey, keep thinking that, and we're just going to run the ball. So,
yeah.
But that's my deal with that.
What have you seen from play calling this year? I don't know if it's more creative is the right word, but it just seems like there's more opportunities for the bigger plays so far this season. What kind of have you seen from your perspective on that?
From my perspective, I would say, honestly, I wouldn't say it's more so like Hype was bringing out new tools out the tool bag or things like that. I think
Yeah.
more so the guys are executing better.
Mhm.
I think more so like the guys are on the same page, and that I mean, Hype was one of the best in the country of scheming people up. Halsey and all those guys in the offensive staff. So I think more so it's on the guys to execute the plan, execute the plays, and win your one-on-ones. And I think now like we're winning one-on-ones. We're making throws. We're completing blocks, and like we're hitting holes downhill. Like the running backs are, picking up protections and against pressure and things like that. So
Yeah.
I think more so it's the guys executing.
Gotcha.
You mentioned Heupel scheming. I am a firm believer that Heupel has the best opening drive script in the country. When we get the kickoff, I'm like 7. Like, just go ahead and put it on the board. Let's ride. In that offensive meeting, were you all just like on a Friday, we're just like, yep, all right, this is 7. Did it feel that perfect in that offensive meeting?
It's crazy to think that, because obviously like we made it look that easy coming out of open drive, and you go in there and scoring. I mean, even against the Georgia front, all those guys got drafted. You go in there and you punch them in their mouth and you score 7 on the first drive of the game.
Mhm.
But man, I wouldn't. From our perspective, it was tough to score, and it's tough to score the SEC. It's tough to score against the Georgias and Floridas and Alabamas, and even regardless of how we made it look, man, that just the guys being in the right position, hitting their routes at the right yard, setting up guys for to get open, protecting, picking up pressures, picking up exotic blitzes that are very hard to pick up. And obviously the quarterback being able to deliver the ball, or the running back being able to get the ball and hit the hole downfield full speed, and kind of make people miss. I think that's all kind of a part of it. And so I think with Heupel, this is firm belief in all the guys in that room and all the guys that's out there on that field, that he's able to call the type of plays that he calls, because he could trust the guys.
And yeah, absolutely. And you are right. You all did make it look so easy in 2022. I was convinced I could have lined up in 2022 and scored a touchdown for Tennessee on the first drive. Probably not anywhere outside the first drive, but it always just looks so flawless.
Yeah.
Opening drive. It was lovely to watch.
100%.
What about I wanted to ask about Liam Cohen.
Mm-hmm.
So in January, he had his press conference. I'm going to probably butcher it, but his quote was, "Jacksonville, the community, DUVAL." Has he redeemed himself a little bit from that?
He's definitely redeemed himself from that. I wasn't here during that time, but man, he's all in it now. He's all in the Duval County, so he's all into the Jacksonville spirit. Obviously, it's a rich community down here. They love their Jaguars football. So and obviously we're starting off 2-1 right now. So very early in the season, but we're rocking and rolling.
A new stadium coming soon?
Yeah, there's a new stadium coming soon. Not sure what year, but they already started construction on it. So they're on the fast track for sure.
I only know that because I think Georgia and Florida play in Tampa one year because of that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
So can we hear a good Duval chant? You got one?
I got one. Duval.
Oh yeah, I love it. I'm not even a Jacksonville fan, but it makes me want to makes me want to get fired up for it.
Yeah.
It's also so unique that it's their county, and I don't know if I've ever heard anything like that in any sports league.
100%. Yeah, 100%, man. They're very passionate out here, so it's dope.
Last question I got for you, Jerome, and really appreciate you coming on again. Has Sam Pendleton maybe inspired you to do the vertical bar down the center of your helmet?
He has not inspired me to do that. That's his own deal. That's his swag. So and I mean, he looks good in it. I love it. I love the way he looks, man. He's traditional old school offensive lineman, and he looks gritty and tough, and he plays like it. So he can rock it, and he looks good. As long as he keeps playing how he's playing, he can rock it all he wants.
Okay.
Agreed. Jerome, we really appreciate it, man. Appreciate your time tonight. And hope you enjoy your time in Jacksonville. We're always rooting for you, man. So thank you again, and go Vols. Go Vols.
100%. Thank you, guys. Go Vols.
Thanks, man.